First and foremost, giving all praise and glory to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Sham, Dash. Those are the true names of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, which come through you in the strength and power and spirit of Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi, Shem, Dash as always. Yahawah is the Father's true name. That means He is, He exists. Bahasham means in the name. Yahawashi is the Son's true name. That means He saves, He delivers. And Rakah Kodash is how you say a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. We baptize in these names, the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, according to Matthew 28 and 19. Right? If somebody is teaching contrary to those names, then they're not teaching the proper and correct doctrine. So you should steer clear of them. Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. Men that have labored and continue to teach the correct doctrine for decades upon decades, the true prophets of Yahawah B'Shem, Yahawashi B'Shem, Kakadash. And second of all, and third of all, double honors, Salakia. Third of all, Shalom to the Lord Tofu elect, 144,000 men as well as 1/3 men, women, and children. Okay. Yasha Allah, God's chosen people at this point in time, the righteous, which He is choosing to bring up out of this place we know as America, Babylon, and all over this planet. He will rescue and save His people, man. And salvation is for Israel and Israel only. Alright. So with that being said, getting into this one, I'm going to entitle this one Wonderfully Made. Wonderfully Made. Alright. And we are, at the end of the day, we are wonderfully made by Yahawah B'Shem, Yahawashi B'Shem, Kakadash. These bodies, when you use them, the correct way, and I've seen just they're capable of amazing things through His power when He strengthens us and pushes us to do certain things. Okay, that's why Proverbs 3:6 tells you to acknowledge Him in all thy ways, because everything that you do is of the Father, man. All right, He gives you the power to do anything that you do. So it's never of your own strength. And you got to consider that. How you move around, how you go. You have to have the fear of Yahawah B'Shem, Yahawashi, having that wisdom, having that understanding. To know that He's going to get you through. He's going to guide you. And He's going to get you through in, these situations that you may face. Okay? Which, especially in this time, we're facing a lot of tribulations, trials, challenges. Alright? I'm going to park right here. Alright? So, we got to trust in Yahawah B'Shem, Yahawashi. Now, I was thinking about this on my way I'm going to the grocery store. And, like, you be having, like, texts and all of that. And you text and then the word will come up, and the spell check. All of that type of stuff. But it's not really... It's really taking you away from using this body the proper way that you're supposed to use it. It's making you slow. All of Esau's technology is making us lazy and slow, man. Where you just type in a little word and then you forget how to spell that word over time because you haven't spelled it in so long. And it's the same with using all these phones and stuff for looking up the scriptures. So at camp, I try to be hands-on and use the physical copy, right? Now, yeah, the AI and all that stuff, it makes stuff easier sometimes, but it's taking us away from this tapping in with this body, man. Right? And that's what we're seeing in this generation, where it's becoming more the convenience of things. All right, so I want to go over to Revelations, the 13th chapter, because this is why a lot of people align with the beast system, because the convenience of it, because it's easy. It makes stuff easy, So going down to verse 12, and we started 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Talking about this beast system, all right? America, sitting as the whore of this beast system. She's like the head of it. And those 2 horns is what? Democrats, Republicans. The same way that the Romans ruled back in the day. All right? 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Speaking as a dragon, talking about all these draconian measures, these draconian laws, which Esau is coming down with. Right? Where they're about to start unaliving you for talking about you're doing hate speech. All right? They're passing certain bills such as the C9 in Canada. That's going to be effective July 18th, which is supposed to combat for certain communities, which we know what communities they talking about, the JOOs, the small hats, or also the LGBTQs, all these individuals which are full of wickedness. So it's a defense for them, where your brother's going to have to talk more in code about these certain situations, because it's going to be deemed as hate speech. That's why, but we know how to move. As the scripture says, let's get that. We come as sheep in the midst of wolves. It says, Matthew 10:16, Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So you have to watch. You got to pay attention. And you have to check the atmosphere. Observe the room and know what's going on. Don't get caught up. You ain't know Esau was doing this? Well, you do now. You know what I'm saying? He has a new weapon that he's unleashing. He has a new way to suppress us. He has a new way to take your YouTube page, a new way to take your TikTok page, or whatever, and you get caught up in it. That's what it is what it is. You have to, in war, you have to scout out the enemy beforehand. That's what was that, Moses or Joshua sent forth Caleb, to scout out, sent forth a lot of men to scout out. And then 2 men came back with the proper report. All right? So you got to scout out the enemy first to know how the movements is and when's the best time to strike. So we have to know. That's why, man, you got to pay attention. If you're not watching, you're going to get caught up by the wild devil, man. Wolf, wise as serpents and harmless as doves. To these people, we appear as no threat. We go to work, and they don't know what we about. It shouldn't be like that. Now, if they do a little research, they may see us on the street corners and all of that, whatever. That is what it is, okay? But we're not in there talking about, you're going into slavery. None of that. That's crazy. We know what we up against. We are prisoners of war. We are behind enemy lines. Verse 12, And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Why? Because of that convenience. Because individuals are forgetting that they're wonderfully made. Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi made us amazing. All you got to do is take care of your body. You know what I'm saying? Now then, let's get another precept. As Paul said, to put this flesh under subjection. This is 1 Corinthians 9:27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So, as you're living, you're supposed to train your body. You're supposed to put it under subjection. You're supposed to fight your body. You have to fight these thoughts. You have to fight this flesh. Right? You have to call upon Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi, your power. You got to fast to get closer to him. And he's going to get you through. These are vessels that we are he has given us a loanership. Like basically, he's lended these to us to get us through these situations. He's placed the soul, which the soul don't even belong to us. He's placed it down here in these bodies, which he's gave to us. And he's telling us, hey, this is the challenge now. You got to get through here. You got to maneuver through these situations. And you also have to take care of the vessel that I gave you. This temple which I gave you. You got to take care of this body. So don't destroy it by overdoing it with the TV, overdoing it with video games, overdoing it with the cell phone usage, overdoing it. You have no balance in these things, and what? You're gonna get cancer. You're gonna have headache. Your eyes are gonna get bad. You have to have a balance, man. All right? You need to exercise. He gave you weapons. He gave you tools that are here to help you, such as the sun. That's divine energy. This regulates your sleep patterns. It helps you to wake up. Right? So we use the weapons which are at our disposal to get us through. Yeah, we down here as sheep in the midst of wolves, but he didn't send us down here defenseless. He sent us down here with backup. So we're going to call upon that backup. We're going to pray. Right? And these people are falling from the convenience of this place. As it says once again in Revelations 13 and 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. So as they fell for Rome's convenience long ago, now they're falling for Rome's convenience once again. Nothing is new under the sun. And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. These people once again worship Rome because of the convenience. They choosing the path that is set upon you, and it looks easier to travel, but no, it's the harder path. All right, because you're ultimately going to feel more punishment, where if you would have took the path that Yahawah Shem Yahawashi laid upon you, it's really the easier path, which comes with a greater reward. Verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, direct energy weapons, atomic bombs, nuclear weapons, all this type of stuff. They know what this white man's got, man. This is how he had the world basically in subjection from the 1940s, when he came down with that weapon. And everybody was like, yeah, we got back off. It's over. The war is over. It's done. They surrendered. It was over. They were like, you ain't playing. Okay? And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Deceiveth them by the convenience. It's convenience in the RFID hip. Yo, I forgot my wallet, but I got my chip. Yeah, that's convenience. It's convenience in the Neuralink. You no longer, as Kill Gates is saying, you're no longer going to need your phone anymore. You can search the web off of your brain, off of the Neuralink. You'll be connected to the grid. Everybody will be transhumans. All right, well, you're configured with robot technology in your body. Everybody's on Wi-Fi. Everybody's on Bluetooth. Your body is on that nanotechnology. This is what they show you in watch the Avengers, Iron Man. How his suit comes together, that's all nanotechnology. His heart, that heart thing that's keeping him alive, that's nanotechnology. They want everybody to be a transhuman, to be half man, half machine, and what? The convenience in that, what they're going to push and tell you, by 2030, you can live forever because of nanotechnology, because of nanobots. They'll be able to go in your body and prevent whatever disease is happening. Most High didn't create you to live forever at this point in time. You were wonderfully made. This human experience, you're supposed to get 120 years. If you take care of your body and do what you're supposed to do, right? You'll get 100 years out of this. Okay? You'll have ups, you'll have downs, you'll have a realistic experience. What you was meant to go through. What did they do beforehand? Why did the Most High shorten the lifespan of these creatures? Because the longer you live, the more wicked you got. This is why the flood had to happen, man. And this is why the lifespan was shortened afterwards. Because the Most High saw, hey, they can't live that long. Nah, they doing too much. They doing too much. And immediately after the flood, you know, some decades after, what did they do? They tried to build a Tower of Babel. All right? Not necessarily going to the heavens, but it was designed with certain stones and crystals and stuff to try to communicate with the left-hand side, with demons once again, to go at the Most High. And that's what you're seeing right now. So how we have AI right now, which is their demon, which they're using to try to trump Yahawah, to try to overthrow and do all of that, that's what they was doing back then, communicating with the same type of demons. And people fail because of the convenience that comes with that. Because a demon will communicate with you. He'll talk to you. You get a Ouija board. Oh, the demons will talk to you. Right? You do these rituals and stuff. Right? These individuals like carnal things. Just because the Most High, you don't know how to understand his communication does not mean he's not talking. He's very much speaking. So the convenience is going to get a lot of these people, man. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. The image, the likeness of Rome is once again upon this place. Colosseums, gladiator games, all of that. Okay? Swingers. Back in the day, they had orgies. They had all this type of stuff. Okay? This is Rome 2.0. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Manipulating your neighbors. Rome used to employ states, neighboring states, and get them to fight wars with them. And then when the war was over, Rome would go forth and destroy that country. So this is Rome once again. They go in, they take it, and then take your resources, take your land, take everything that you have, take your valuables, and be like, well, you didn't want to reduce your army, so we had to go in and do what we had to do. America is known for doing that. It's Rome again. America is known for sabotaging a nation from the inside out. You have what you call jackals, which they work for the CIA or whatever alphabet, you know. They'll send a man or insurgents into a country and they'll topple the country from the inside out. This is what America is known for. That's what Rome was known for. This is nothing different. Nothing has changed. Keeping it going. Let's read 14 again. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, the convenience. Oh man, Elon, he making people that was blind, he making them see again. You know, China, they doing the same thing. All right, man, but you telling me it's wrong that bro was handicapped, but he take the Neuralink and now he can walk? That's wrong. You a hater. No, the Most High made him like that. That's how it's supposed to be. That's not true healing. That's a false miracle, man. All right? The same thing that be happening in these churches. You see it all the time. Hey, let me get the one with the wheelchair. Yeah, you come up here. We gonna heal you today. You perform a false miracle. You cast out Beelzebub by Beelzebub. You using the devil. It's demons. These demons are communicating, man. These are not real miracles. When Yahawashi came and performed real miracles, the people couldn't recognize it. So the same way that we are coming and breaking these scriptures down, that spiritual power, and giving you understanding of all of these scriptures, these people can't recognize it. It's the same. We got to come in a similarity, man. All right. Hey, Shalom to my brother in Dual. Hey, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi Barak. Shalom. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust on chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Perfect, because of convenience. Horses representing power. All right? They want to stay in their position of power. They want to stay in these power seats. You want to stay with your career. You want to stay with, you know, your 401k. You want to stay with your 501c. You want to stay with your nice car. You want to stay with your big house. You want to stay with your white picket fence. You want to stay with your HOI, your gated community. You want to stay with all this stuff that has become now your strong tower. Everything that you put your faith in. Your AK-47, that's what you think is going to get you through Jacob's trouble. All right? Going back another chapter right before that, I've been hitting that chapter a lot this week, Isaiah 30. They cover with a covering, but not of Yahawah, not of his spirit. Okay? So whatever you covering with, Jesus Christ, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yeshua, whatever you covering with, as Jeremiah 2:28 tells you, all these guys you made, let them save you. Let the convenience that you cleaved unto, let that save you. But we came here and told you what is really going to save you, and you rejected it. Okay? Verse 14 again. And deceiveth them, Revelations 13:14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. Rome was wounded, looked like it wasn't going to make it or come back, but now it's back from the dead. That deadly wound, this empire was done away with, but now it's back. All right? Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, the ways, the likeness, right? All these different type of things that Rome used to do, they do it once again. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't want to align with the convenience that is being set forth, then you're going to die. All right? Or Yahawah Shem Yahawashi is going to take care of you. That's what we know, and that's what we believe, and that's what we trust in. Okay? In the time where it's looking like they coming down on us like a flood, he's going to raise the standard, and he's going to take care of us. So you're really wonderfully made when you trust in Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, because the Spirit is going to flow through you. It's never of us. You know? But he also frowns at what? At a false balance. So you can't go forth and be on your phone 24/7. That's going to damage you. You can't go forth and just eat all this damn fake ass sugar, man. You know, all you eat is Swiss rolls and Hot Pockets, and you think you ain't gonna get fat. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a balanced life, man. You know, you gotta eat the bitter. You can eat the sweets, but you gotta eat the bitter. I ate some salad today. You know, I had some avocado. What I had that was sweet, I had some cookies. I had a balance. You gotta have a balance. And then you don't eat too much. You don't overdo it. Okay? As a wise man, you should be organized. You should live life purposefully. Right? Have some purpose about yourself. So therefore, when they come with the convenience of everything that they're trying to sell to you, you're like, I don't care about that. Like them old farmers when Esau coming with the gentrification and all of that, and they trying to buy up the land, and the one farmer's like, I'm not selling. But we offering you $5 million for your lot. I don't care. This was my father's house. This was my father's father's house. This was his father's father's house. We not selling. 10 million. I don't care about the price. That's how you gotta be. I don't care about the price. You cannot, we not for sale. So whatever convenience that you have, we don't care because we wonderfully made. And Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi is going to give us something far greater than you could ever give us. This transhumanism shit that you trying to sell us, bro, that doesn't compare to the everlasting bodies. Okay? An EMP will take your shit out. You have robot, have human. EMP come through, everybody fall and drop. And that's what Esau is counting on. You taking the jab and taking all these damn chips and stuff so he can control you. He can send out a frequency. You tripping, you bugging out. You realize you made a mistake, and now you want to go at the government. All you gotta do is hit a switch, and you're dead. He turned up the 5G, 6G towers, because 5G are now transitioning into 6G towers. He turned up the frequency on that, and you're done. You was dumb for taking and aligning with his system. When we told you damn near every lesson not to take that chip, not to take that jab, not to take the MOTB, not to take the Neuralink, not to deal with this white man. You gotta be like Nathan. What's his name? Nathan, right? You gotta go out there on that boat with him. You gotta find out. They don't like your black ass. You gotta find that out. You don't want to be that person, man. Because in that situation, you're done. All right? You're done. Never trust thine enemy. Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Some will take it, most will take it willingly. Actually, all, because you're going to have to consent. Now, you're going to be like, you're going to have some, and I don't care if you say it, you're going to be like, well, I had to take it because they said we weren't going to be, you still took it willingly. Choose death. That's it. Choose death, man. I had to take it. No, it's like when you a kid and you be like, well, what's the name made me do it? Nobody can make you do anything. Nobody can make you do anything. You did that on your own. You did that. Don't blame your brother. Don't blame your sister. Don't blame your cousin. You did that. You chose to take it. It was another option. Death. That was the other option. All right? And then when that approaches, if you really been doing what you're supposed to do, trusting in Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, then guess what? He can make that option disappear and give you that everlasting body option. That'll be the option, really. He can make death feel like nothing if it does come. And then he could also rescue you out of that situation and take care of you. That's why we are wonderfully made. Furthermore, through this spirit, man. We now live in the spirit, man. We don't care about the flesh no more. We war with the flesh. But what is that? We are quickened. All right? Brother got a precept. Matthew 16:25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Perfect. So trust in Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Trust in the one that made us. He made us wonderfully. He instilled in us everything that we need to make it back to him. Okay? He gave us everything. Like I said, we are down here as sheep amongst wolves, but we're not defenseless. He gave us all the tools. Call back to headquarters. Pray. Fast. Send a flare out. That's what a prayer is. I'm over here. They know where you at already. I mean, they tracking you. They got your coordination. Yahawah already know where you at. Yahawashi already know where you at. But still, go through the routine. Put on as the elect. Let him know that you ain't forgot your basic training. You was paying attention when he was going through it. You was really reading and studying. You was being diligent. I was watching Amawan Abad earlier, and he was going in, and he basically said, "Hey man, if you're not diligent, shut the fuck up." Pretty much, that's what he said. And I felt that one. I was like, yeah, that's it right there. You gotta be diligent, man. You gotta go hard. You gotta make sure you doing what you're supposed to do. If you're not here to play your hardest, if you're not here to put in your best effort, then why? Why are you here? Don't show up, man. Who show up to the game to be a bench player? All right? Nah, you about to get put in the game, and we need you to run up down that court, giving everything that you got. We in the fourth quarter. You in the fourth quarter slacking. Come on, man. We got to win this. We got to win this thing. Give it your all. All right? Let me see. I'll get one more, man. I'm going to get up out of here. Quicken. I want that one. Yahawashi have quickened us right here. This is Romans 8. And I'll start at... let's start at 6. Matter of fact, nah, we gotta go up. Let's start at dang. This is all hitting my point. Let's start at 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. We are wonderfully made through you really start living when you wake up into this truth. That's when you really start living. Before that, you were considered dead. You were considered a Gentile. You were considered a heathen. All right? Now you are back to life. All right? So now you mind things that are after the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against power. If all you're thinking about is your physical and what you have physically down here, we don't have much. I mean, if you really think about what you have, but that's gonna kill your self-esteem. We don't got shit. We don't got businesses. We don't own no resources. We don't own no oil. All right? We don't have all of that. So to be carnal minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. We think about what's above, what's coming in the next life, what we have been promised, our inheritance, what pertains to us. That's what we thinking about. Fuck all this shit down here, excuse my French, but fuck it, man. We ready to go, man. We tired of paying bills, bro. All right? We tired of going to work. And you see our counterparts, our peers, people in this society that don't know Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, they're crying out and they like, I'm so tired of working. But they don't know the Lord, so they don't have that comfort to get them through. They ready to crash out. Because they don't know Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and they don't know that this place is almost over. All they see is the carnal. I gotta go to work. I gotta do this. But we know, and therefore we suffer with it. The suffering is worth it, because we know that this suffering is eventually gonna end, and our reward is greater than we could ever work for. You could work 60 years of your life, seeing family members do it, and have nothing to show for, and get your house took away and your car took away, and now come on, man. So all that overtime, what does it really do? What does it really do? You showed Master you really cared about his business. You showed Master. Let me see what the brother got. All right. We don't have all the materials, and still happier than people with all. Yeah. Yep. At the top, because it is truth. Exactly. I saw a big Tigger rap in the basement. Remember that? Rap City in the basement. It was, I saw this yesterday. He was fighting with his woman over the phone. Like, what? You fighting with your woman over a cell phone, bro? You in your damn 50s. You still living that insecure relationship shit? That's crazy. I'm like, man, he's supposed to have millions and millions of dollars. But you arguing with your woman over a phone. The hell that mean? That mean you can't even really be a man in your household. Alright? They live in a false reality, man. You got your woman thinking she own you. You're not living in a real life. Bro, if we want another woman, we can have that. If we could take care of it. And our woman can't say nothing about it. If you want a concubine, you want to deal with a heathen, you could do that. And your woman can't say nothing about it. Right? Arguing with her over a phone. What? These people are they rich and insecure. That's all they are. They rich and insecure. That's crazy. Verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against power, for it is not subject to the law of power, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please power. And therefore, they in the flesh, they don't judge righteous judgment. They judge based upon how you look. You know, oh, he looked like a bum. He looked like he ain't got no money, or he looked low. He looked, you know. All right. Yeah. Hey, they would. Yahawashi could be in front of them the way that he looked back then, in front of them today, and he came his way. He looking like a slave, low, not having much, and they would walk right by Yahawashi like he's homeless. This is how these people would treat our king. And I know that because that's how they did back then. That's how they treated him back then. They weren't rocking with him unless he was doing something for them. These people respect carnal things. You know, talking about these 2/3. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please power. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of power dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. So in turn, we have been made what? We have been given a mind to think like Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi. Alright, as Yahawashi prayed for that. As me and you are one, in essence, let them be one with us. So we are being joined. Verse 10. And if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. Going back to what Paul was talking about, putting this body in subjection. Being able to deal with all these different type of thoughts and emotions and stuff that come at you, man. Not being damn insecure. Having confidence and boasting in Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi. We don't boast in nothing carnal. All this carnal stuff could be took away. We boast in what is forever. Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi. We boast in our power and what's going to get us up out of here. Alright? Verse 11. But if the spirit of him that raised up Hamashiach from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. Alright? Making us alive. Quicken. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh to live after the flesh. For if you live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if you through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. Mortify, put to death the deeds of the body. Put to death all this type of stuff that your flesh is seeking after. The convenience of Babylon. You know? And understanding that you are wonderfully made when you are quickened. You come into this truth. How you used to live, that wasn't wonderful. That was a disaster. That was terrible. All these accomplishments, you might have went to the league, the NFL, NBA, whatever. You had a 42-inch vertical. I don't care. What is that gonna do for Yahawah Shem Yahawashi? Alright? You never knew the truth. You didn't know what the purpose of life was. To keep the commandments and fear him. To serve. Alright? To keep the laws, commandments, and statutes and the faith in Yahawashi. You didn't know what was really going on. The wisdom of the world, man, is not going to get you through. You know? So, hey, with that being said, pray this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Hashem, Kakadash. And double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone once again. Shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect. Kwame Yasha'Allah and Ababa Bar. Ate the water for the precepts, Malak. All right, I'll get this one to wrap it up. Psalms 84:10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of power, my power, than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. Exactly. So I'd rather be low in this place than to be rich in this place. Because if I'm low, if I'm last here, then I'll be first in the kingdom to come. All right? You know, as long as we continue to strive for the masteries. So with that being said, shalom, shalom. Keep the faith. Shalom.